Hey, my name's Darren. This is going to be a short and sweet tutorial on how to feed a Figma design to an AI coding agent like CoPilot or Cursor using something called MCP servers. So what are we doing here? We are essentially designing something in Figma Desktop, not the browser version of Figma, but Figma Desktop. And in this example, we're just going to do a web page, really simple web page, and we're going to feed our Figma frame where that web page design lives to our AI coding agent using this kind of standardized way of communicating with AI models called MCP, Model Context Protocol. And all this really means in our context here is, again, I've done my design. I have a Figma frame that I can link to, and I'm going to go and talk to my coding agent, give it a link to that frame, and say, hey, can you code this for me, right? And basically it's going to go back, it's going to use this kind of standardized way of communicating with other programs. My CoPilot agent is going to go and read that frame. It's going to look at it and say, cool, Darren has this text and this font and this background color, right? And it's going to code it for me. So with that, here's what we need to do this. Here's your ingredients, right? I would actually, if I were you, I would pause the video right here and just go get all these downloaded. They're all free. It's you need Figma Desktop. So again, not the browser version of Figma, but Figma Desktop, which you can download at figma.com/downloads, right in here. Visual Studio Code, which is a free code editor, which you can get at code.visualstudio.com. Here I am on my Windows computer, so it's telling me, download for Windows right here, right? And then GitHub Copilot. So that's going to be at github.com/features/copilot. Install Copilot in Visual Studio Code, right? So you need Visual Studio Code before you download Copilot. But yeah, so the last piece here, this is not a download necessarily. This is just, well, you do need a web browser. You need like a, if it's Safari, Chrome, Firefox, whatever you're using. I'm using Chrome. You also need your documentation from Figma on how to get their MCP server started. So it's really not that bad. It's not this big scary document or anything. You just Google Figma MCP. It will come up here. And it's essentially, you can read through this if you want, but it's a step-by-step guide of how to get this set up, right? So if we just scroll through this for a second, you'll see that you're going to go into your Figma desktop and go to your settings, and in your preferences they're going to tell you to come in here and they're going to say enable dev mode MCP server, right? And I won't walk through all of this. Just essentially it's going to give you your setup, right? It's going to tell you this address that you might need to copy and paste into a few things here and there, but more importantly, because we're in VS Code using CoPilot, we want this one here. So you'll see they have Cursor, Windsurf, Claude. We are in VS Code, so we want this one. And yeah, it'll just give you the step-by-step guide, right? So you're going to go into your VS Code. You're going to go into settings, right? If I type in MCP here, you can see you get to this file called settings.json, and I have copy and pasted, if I go back, I've copy and pasted this code that they gave me into that file, saved it, and I have then opened my my CoPilot chat over here. So let me close him. Let me see, can I just get another one to open? Yeah. So you can open CoPilot and make sure it's in agent mode, right? What else did we have to set up for this? I'm trying to remember. In the selection tool, yep. You may have to restart VS Code and Figma Desktop a few times to get this to work, but essentially if you're in here, in your new tools available thing, select your tools, somewhere in here you will see MCP server, Figma Dev Mode MCP, right? And it has these tools that it's going to use for you. Essentially, I had to just restart CoPilot, not CoPilot. I had to restart VS Code and Figma Desktop a couple times to get this to work. But as long as your settings.json has that code in it, if it looks like this essentially, it should be good to go. And let's see here. Yeah, so the next part here, really the cool part basically is we are now going to make something in Figma, and then we're going to feed it to CoPilot. So let me come back here. I just have, let's start, because we have CoPilot, let's give ourselves like a basic HTML file, right? Hey, can I please have a basic HTML boilerplate? This is just going to be so that when our AI is coming back here and coding for us, this is just my preference, I guess. You don't really have to do this if you don't want, but give me kind of a basic skeleton to start with of HTML. And what I'm going to do is pop into Figma desktop, right? Not the browser one, desktop. I'm going to make a frame. I've pressed F to open the frame tool. I'm just going to do a desktop frame. And let's give it, we're not going to do like a big fancy design or anything. This is more just kind of a demo. Do we want to do like a gradient or something? What do we want to do? Yeah, that's kind of cool. Let's give it like, I like the color green. Let me do that. Green to nice. Okay. And then we'll do some text on here somewhere, I guess. Let's say my first MCP, Figma MCP design. Smiley face. Just gonna center it. And really, like, you can do whatever you want here. This is just kind of an example to get us started. So the important thing is I'm gonna right click up here, copy link to selection. You see my link copied to my clipboard, right? So now, moment of truth, we're going to come back to CoPilot, and we're going to say, hey, can you please make this HTML page look like the Figma frame I'm linking? And I'm come down here and I'm going to paste my Figma frame from my file. And I think it's going to ask me, yeah, can I use this, essentially can I use this tool to go and look at your Figma file, right? And we're just going to say continue. So you can see our Figma MCP server is doing its thing. It's going to write some code. There's our gradient. Okay. And what I want to do is, let's keep this code. Looks about right. What I want to do is check, how does it look, right? So I'm trying to remember where this file lives. Okay. Can I grab it? Reveal in File Explorer. I'm going to go ahead and open that in Chrome. Look at it. And there it is. My first Figma MCP design, right? So we have our gradient, we have our text. You know, I'm not exactly sure how complex you want to get, like, per prompt. You know, if I did a massive, super complex design here with a bunch of, you know, assets that it has to use, I'm not really sure how good that is just yet. But anyways, you can see kind of the flow, right? We have our Figma frame with some stuff in it. I'm going to close this. And we have our link that we take. And we come back to CoPilot and we put it into our prompt for CoPilot, right? And I said, hey, can we make the page look like this Figma design, right? And it did, right? And we can come in here and change this. If I want to change, you know, do I want to change the colors a little bit? Make that, you know, kind of ocean looking. you can see if I copy my link again and I come back, okay, I changed the design. Can you update it? I'm also just going to put that link in there again. And kind of the same thing, right? It's going to say, hey, I need to run the MCP server, so I can go look at your Figma file. And you can see it changed the gradient here. I'm going to come back here. And change the gradient, right? So how cool is that, right? I guess that's about it. We'll stop at that point. We'll just stop here. Again, really the bulk of the setup is going to happen in this documentation here from Figma. The cheat code, I guess, if you're having trouble getting it set up, getting all of this to work, I had to restart Figma and VS Code multiple times to get it working, but eventually it was working. So as long as you've got, you can come in here to your tools and see dev mode, MCP from Figma, should be good to go. You may have to approve. You'll see in the beginning of the video, I had to approve. There was kind of like a little rectangular looking icon here. You may have to approve your tools in there, but yeah, thanks for watching.